ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले सोऽयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावतान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। सर्वशास्त्राब्धिपीयूष सर्ववेदैकसत्फल सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाढ्य सर्वलोकैकदृक्प्रद सर्वभागवत प्राण श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिध्वान्तोदितादित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तित परमानंद पाठाय प्रेमवर्षक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तु मे। मदेकबन्धो मत्सङ्गिन् मद्गुरो मन्महाधन मन्निस्तारक मद्भाग्य मदानंद नमोऽस्तु ते। असाधु साधुता दायिन् अतिनीचोच्चताकर हानमुंच कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्णारथकण्ठयो स्फुर। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम की जय। Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you in today's session. So we are meeting after some time. I hadn't been keeping well for because of some health issues, but now I am like fully well, fully recovered. So yeah, we wish to continue our sessions now without any stoppage in between. Uh, Also, there will be slight change of schedule in terms of only the holiday calendar that I had published. Some of the holidays that I had taken for my I had planned for my personal reasons, but some of them will get cancelled. So, in the sense that there will be classes instead of those holidays. So, what I will do is I will post the new calendar now of the entire course. So, especially in December month, I was supposed to be taking off for some days on Friday and Sunday, which are our days for 10th Canto course. But I won't be taking off on those days. So, probably out of the holidays that I had planned, 3 days would be now available for classes additionally. So, so that is good. That would give me some extra time to cover the things. So I will publish that new calendar of the course again. Of course, the days remain the same. Nothing changes. As I said, it's Friday and Sunday. What changes is only the holidays in December month. I was supposed to be out for few things. So I was not in a position to take classes, but now I can take the classes on those days also. So, all right. So, Here we are now in 10th canto, chapter first, the advent of Lord Krishna, introduction. Uh, so in this chapter, till now, we have seen first 11 verses. Mm. So in this 10th canto, we began with this first chapter, we began with, Parikshit Maharaja's desire to hear the pastimes of Lord Krishna in detail. Uh, So Parikshit Maharaj spoke about his desire to hear these pastimes, not in a summary fashion, although he had been hearing for so many days now of completely fasting without any food or water, but he wanted to still hear Krishna Leela, in full detail. Tani no vada vistarad. So we saw that in the first three verses, he expressed that desire to hear Lord's glories in full detail. Just as Shukadev had described Lord's, other topics about of Bhagavatam, or even other dynasties in detail. So now he wanted, in fact, Lord Krishna's glorification. Parikshit wanted that Shukadev does it even more detailed manner. So his resolve, his eagerness to hear in details was spoken in first three verses of this chapter. If Shukdev were to say that, will you not become satiated? So he speaks in amazing manner that who could become satiated in Krishna's glory, Krishna Leela, Nivrutta Tarshaya Rupagiyamanat. So we discuss that verse also elaborately. All four kinds of people, whether materialistic people, Vishayachus, or devotees, Bhakti Ichus, the desirers of liberation, mumukshus, or liberated soul, muktas, and none will become satiated in Krishna Leela, glorification of Krishna, except the one who is a butcher or one who is killer of the soul, such person. And not only in a generic sense, but also in a specific sense, I would never become satiated in Krishna Leela. So that he expressed in verses 5 to 7, 5, 6, 7, that how my entire existence is because of Sri Krishna. Krishna is my raison d'etre. He is the cause of my existence. So he is the one who protected my grandfathers. He is the one who saved my life also. My whole existence owes to him. Uh, so that's why I will never become satiated. So that was expressed in verses 5, 6, and 7. From verses 8, he began specific inquiries, Vishesha Jigyasa. So verse 8, 9, 10, and 11, these four verses are questions by Parikshit. Hmm. How is Sankarshana or Rama described as son of Devaki also and son of Rohini also? So how is that? Uh, when Sri Krishna left Mathura, why did he leave Mathura to go to Vraja? And where did he reside in Vraja? Also, residing in Vraja, what did he do? Uh, what did he do in Vrindavan? Also, what did he do in Dwarka? Why did he kill his own uncle, a maternal uncle, Kamsa? Uh, It appears atadharhanam. It appears very inappropriate to kill one's own maternal uncle, right? Uh, and how many years did Krishna stay in the material world? Uh, for how many years did he perform his pastimes? For how many years in Yadupuri, Dwaraka? How many wives did Sri Krishna had? How many ladies had that great fortune of becoming Krishna's wives? So he has asked all these questions, right? So in four verses, the questions are asked. And then now from text 12 onwards. So first 16 verses, you remember, it is Vaktru Shrotru Yoho. Vishwan Chakravarti says uh, it is Ukta Madhuri. It is the sweetness, actually, the sweet conversation that is happening between the Vakta, the speaker, and the Shrota, that is Parikshit, the audience. So, first 16 verses are this sort of conversation between Shukadev and Parikshit. And then after that, from text 17 onwards, Shukadev starts answering the specific questions asked by Parikshit. So that marks the beginning of 10th canto's episode. Krishna, I mean, it begins with Mother Earth going to Brahmaji because she was overburdened by the demoniac kings. So that is from 17 onward. So in today's session, we'll try to complete up to text 16, so that in the next session we begin with the story of Sri Krishna Janma. So, all right. So now let's move on. Text 12. All right. Yeah. Text 12. So, whatever you see in this presentation, the text as well as the translation, that is taken from Srila Prabhupada only. Someone was asking me whether this translation is differently done. No, it's just straight away Prabhupada's translation. The commentary excerpts are taken by my own study, and sometimes I'm translating them, sometimes I'm using some existing translation also. So, text 12. एतदन्यञ्च सर्वं मे मुने कृष्णा विचेष्टितं वक्तुमर्हसि सर्वज्ञ श्रद्धाधानाय विस्तृतम्. Shiv Kumar Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Yeah. O great sage, who know everything about Krishna, please describe in detail all the activities of which I have inquired and also those of which I have not. For I have full faith and am very, very eager to hear of them.
Yes, thank you. So, Parikshit has asked his questions in those 4 verses. So now he says, I have asked few things, but O Goswami, Shukdev, I might not have asked so many other things, Some specific inquiries which were on my mind, I have asked them. But it's not that I just want to hear about them only, the answers to those inquiries only. I want to hear about everything else. So, etad anyat cha. So, whatever I have asked, etat, and anyat cha, and whatever I have not asked also. Sarvam vaktum arhasi. You please, you can speak everything actually, whatever is possible, you can speak. I have asked some things, I might not have asked something, but you use your discretion and you can please speak about everything. Sarvam Krishna Vicheshtitam. Whatever pastimes have been performed by Krishna, Krishna's activities, please, you can describe everything. Vaktum arhasi. You, you behoove to describe everything. Vaktum arhasi. You behoove, it's very suitable that you describe because you know everything. You understand. It's like the sense is like, I have asked certain inquiries, but it's not like I am very intelligent. You understand what should be spoken, right? Sometimes we know that the speaker may share something which is very, very important on that subject matter and which is beyond the scope of our inquiry also. Why? Because it is very important, it is very connected, it's probably giving a greater relish of that topic also. So that's why he is saying like that. That's why he's addressing him as Sarvajna. Sarvam Janati. You know everything. What is that you don't know? Shraddha Dhanaya. And I am very faithful also. I mean, I have great faith. I'm hearing with great eagerness. Uh, so please speak everything vistritam. You can speak everything in detail, whatever I have asked and whatever I have not even asked also. Like that. So that's the verse. Sanatan Goswami. Oh, how many more precise questions about this and that should I, who am not so much proficient, anabhidnya, ask? Best is you yourself should answer everything. Huh? Sanatan Goswami is describing the abhipraya, the mood of Parikshit. Uh, I mean, how many questions I can ask? I want to just know everything about Krishna. Probably there are so many things which are beyond the scope of these questions, right? But still, you please answer. Because I am Anabhidnya. You are Sarvadnya. I am Anabhidnya. Uh, Sarvadnya is one who knows everything. And not just theoretical information, but one who has a realization of those pastimes. And I am Anabhidnya. I don't understand much. I'm not very knowledgeable. I'm not very proficient. Hmm. So best is you yourself can answer everything. You should elaborately vistrutam yatha syat tatha. Tell me. Me here means mahyam. Please speak to me in detail. Vistrit, vistar, right? Vistar means the expansion. Tantanoti, uh, expanding something in detail, right? Even Krishna says, Tene Brahmaradaya Adi Kavage. So, Tene, that has also the sense of Lord expanded the knowledge within the heart of Brahma. He revealed that knowledge, meaning that particular knowledge was given all its facets, all his nuances, everything. Uh, so that is the same thing, Vistritam. So, uh, which is inquired into, etat prishtam, that which is asked, and about the rest which is also not asked, anyatcha, aprishtam api. Etat means prishtam, that which is already asked by me, and anyat means that which is not asked, aprishtam. In other words, all the deeds of Sri Krishna, sarvam Krishna vicheshtitam, like that. Jeev, Jeev Goswami says, Mune, O sage. So by saying Mune, Muni, Shukadev is known as Muni. What is the sense? Which means Tat Tat Lila Mananashila. Tat Tat Lila Mananshila. O, o you who contemplates on his various pastimes. Tat Tat Leela. I mean, in Sri Krishna's, those particular Leelas, Sri Krishna's multiple Leelas. So, Manana Sheela, one who is always contemplating on those pastimes. Right? Previously, Shukdev was a contemplator of Nirguna Brahma. But after he heard those verses from Vyasadeva's disciples, uh, then he became just madly attracted to Sri Krishna's Leela. And then he came back from forest and he heard the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, right? You know. Otherwise, first he had left Vyasadev. As soon as he appeared, he left. And Vyasadev were just calling out Putra, Putra, Putra. But Shukdev was like so focused on impersonal Brahma that he did not even look back. Vyasadev kept on calling, Putra, 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 Putreti tanmayataya taravo bhinedus tam sarva bhutarudhayam munimanatosmi. Like that. So now that Parikshit is no longer, Mananshila on contemplating on that Brahman. He is now Tat Tat Leela Mananshila. He is now contemplating on those beautiful pastimes of Krishna, always, constantly. That's the sense of Muni. Muni means Mananashila. Muni means Mananashila, one who has very contemplative kind of nature. That is Muni. And because he is contemplative, he may not be speaking much. So that's why Muni is also connected to Maunam sometimes. Munehe bhav Maunam. From Muni only comes Mauna, silence, contemplation. So Shukdev also, he is contemplating constantly, but when there is opportunity to glorify Krishna, then he is speaking non-stop. Just 7 days, nights, he is speaking about Krishna that way. So the point here is that this is what is the sense of Muni. But how could one person contemplate on all of them since they are infinite? How could one person contemplate on all the pastimes of Sri Krishna because they are infinite? So that's why he says Sarvajna. Sarvajna. So you know everything. Of course, we know. Even Shukadev may not be able to describe everything about Krishna's pastime because they are unlimited. Who can do that? No? Nobody can do, right? But then what Shukdev can do, nobody else can do like that. He's so well versed and he's such an ecstatic devotee of the Lord. So the way he can speak, uh, when Shukadev spoke Bhagavatam, in that assembly Narad Muni sat, in that assembly Vyasadeva sat, and these personalities who are his Guru and Parama Guru, so they were thinking that what a what rendering of Bhagavatam he is speaking. Amazing. I mean, we never heard like this. They felt like Ashruta Charitam. Srila Jiva Goswami has used that word. Ashruta Charitam. They felt like we have never heard such an explanation of Bhagavatam. Uh, is it, Vyasadeva felt like, is it that I have taught him Bhagavatam? But how he is explaining it, static, uh, like that. This is amazing. So Shukdev was like that, right? He has received this mercy from the Vyasadeva and Supreme Lord, no doubt. So that's why he is speaking like that. So his extraordinary qualification is obviously needs to be taken into account, and that's why Parikshit is saying Sarvajna tad atiriktam api janasi. You know about them even to an excessive degree. Shri Krishna's pastime, someone may something, but you know everything at exceeding level. You know it very, very specially. And we see that, right? That's how Bhagavatam's rendering by Srila Shukdev is very, very special. So this is how Srila Parikshit Maharaj is inspiring Shukadev to continue speaking and describe all the details. All right, so that's all on this verse. Text 13. Naishati duhsaha kshunmam tyaktodam api badhate pibantam tvan mukham bhoja chutam hari kathamritam. All right. Narayan Hari Prabhu, you want to read? Okay, you have to unmute yourself. Okay, all right. In the interest of time, maybe Ravindra Sachiputra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah.
Because of my vow on the verge of death, I have given up even drinking water. Yet, because I'm drinking the nectar of topics about Krishna, which is flowing from the lotus mouth of your lordship, my hunger and thirst, which are extremely difficult to bear, can't hinder.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, can't hinder me. Is probably that is not visible on the. Yeah, can't hinder me. Thank you, bro. Yes. So, after he's saying that, please describe to me everything, whatever is asked and whatever is not asked and everything. So, Shukadev, for the time, if he wants to say that, well, what about the hunger or thirst? Previously, the objection was like when text 4 discussion was going on, the objection of Shukdev was pertaining to the satiation aspect. Are you not satiated because you have heard so much? All right. Now the objection is about, but are you not tired because of hunger? Of course, that satiation also can be because of getting tired because of hunger and thirst. Agreed. Huh? But the focus was on, are you not satiated? That's how Parikshit answers that objection by saying, in a generic sense, also, who will be satiated? And in a specific sense, how will I be satiated? Uh, because the objection was primarily around that. Uh, Now, if Shukdev were to object, Akshepa, that, okay, you're talking, you're saying, okay, answer everything and all that, but what about, I mean, you are not taking any food, you are not taking any water, are you not tired? Are these whips like Kshut Pipasa and the hunger and thirst, are they not troubling you? I will speak, but are they not troubling you? So, in order to answer this objection, Akshepasya Samadhanam, so in order to answer this objection, we see how Parikshit is speaking this particular verse, text 13. So you say that are hunger and thirst not bothering you? Let me tell you, न एषा अतिदुःसह क्षुन् माम त्यक्तोदमपि बाधते. Huh? न बाधते. It does not trouble me. What does not trouble me? Esha kshut. Esha, this kshut, hunger. This hunger, mam na badhate. It does not trouble me. Like, acha, but in this world we hear that hunger is very, very difficult to control, right? So he says, yes, I agree. Ati duhsaha. Hunger is not that easy to tolerate, isn't it? People, when they become hungry, then they have to eat. They need something to eat, especially if somebody is starving. What to speak of not just being hungry, but if someone is starving, then one may be ready to do anything. Similarly, if one is thirsty, dying because of thirst, one may be ready to do anything. And these are very asahya vegas. These are very difficult to tolerate, very difficult to tolerate urges. Ati duhsaha. Duhsaha means that is very difficult to tolerate. Ati dussaha, that is very, very difficult to tolerate. Extremely difficult to tolerate. Kshut. Kshut means hunger. Akshut pipasa, these words go together typically. Pipasa is thirst, kshut is hunger. So he says, Esha kshut, this particular thirst actually now, not thirst, hunger. This hunger does not, or hunger and thirst both, because he's not taking water also. So it does not bother me now. Na badhate. Although tyaktodamapi, although I have given up drinking even the water. Somebody can survive if he is drinking water. And let me drink some water. So, tyaktodamapi. Tyaktaudam, right? We understand the importance of water on Nirjala Ekadashi day, right? By the night time, you can see the faces of people, right? Face becomes, oh, it's like a person is not drinking water for 10 days or so. And next day morning is even more frightening on the Nirjala Ekadashi day, right? So here Tyaktodam. Now, if we accept that, okay, 10th canto, it's beginning around 4th day of that katha, even if we assume it, accept it like how kathakars speak and all. So you can see that those many days he has not taken any water also, forget about the food. But he's saying, no, this does not at all bother me. This does not trouble me at all. Why is that it doesn't trouble you? Because I am already drinking something. I am not drinking water, but I am drinking something else. What is that? Pibantam Pibantam twan mukham bhoja chutam harikathamritam. Because I am drinking the nectar of Harikatha. Harikathamritam pibantam. I am continuing. Pibantam has the sense of continuation. Because I am continuing to drink, so this, this hunger and thirst, they don't bother me. If you stop it, they will bother me. Uh, That's the sense of pibantam. It's a kshatranta prayog, kshatru pratyayanta in Sanskrit. So has a sense of continuation. Only because I'm continuing to hear the nectar of Harikatha from your mouth, so this does not bother me, this hunger and thirst and all. So if you are saying, why not take a pause? You are not taking any food or drink. Well, I'm telling you, only because you are not stopping, you are continuing to speak. That's why I'm surviving. That's why these things don't bother me. Huh? So I don't want a recess. I don't want a break in this Harikatha. But in fact, I want that you continuously go on speaking. Hari Kathamritam Twan Mukham Bhoja Chutam. That nectar of Hari Katha, which is exuding from your lotus like mouth, from in fact the lotus of your mouth. It's a Rupakam, it's a metaphor. Twan Mukham Bhoja. His mouth is being given the metaphor of lotus, right? Lotus has nectar in it. Lotus has that honey. So similarly, this honey of Harikatha is actually coming out of your lotus mouth. So that is helping me survive. Beloved Shukdev, please don't stop it. In fact, please let it continue. Let me be that pibantam, continuous drinking of that this way. So that's how he's uh, expressing his joy and his complete focus on Krishna Katha. Sridhar Swami, you are afflicted by hunger and thirst. How will you have scope of, how will you have scope to listen? So he answers this objection. You may be afflicted by hunger and thirst, Shukdev is saying, because you are completely fasting. So, how is Shravanavakasha? Is there an avakasha for the Shravanam? Is there any scope to listen? So, Parikshit says, though I have given up drinking liquids, meaning even water, tyaktodam, my life force rests upon drinking the nectar of Harikatha. If that were to stop, my life could end at once. So you can see, this is the sense. Srila Sridhar Swami says, my life force, the pranas are residing in my body only because that Harikatha is going on. If that were to stop, my life could end at once. Vishwan Chakravarti also. You are troubled by hunger and thirst, so rest for a while. You are troubled by hunger and thirst, so rest for a while. Take some break in between. So Vishwanath Chakravarti gives a nice commentary. He says, Parikshit says, it's that thirst which made me a supporter of Brahmanas, put a snake around a sage's neck. Oh, you are talking about thirst and hunger? No, no, no. I did such a blunder because of this hunger and thirst only. Although I was a supporter of Brahmanas, somebody who loved the Brahmanas. So, yeah, just a minute. I'm seeing that word. Yeah. Yeah, Brahmanya. That's the word. This is commentary, the Sanskrit commentary. So Vishwanath Chakravarti, he says, Yakshut Brahmanyam api. Brahmanya is the word. Although I am a Brahmanya, actually, somebody who respects Brahmanas, but it's that thirst only which caused me snake around the sage's neck. Any issue with hearing my voice? No issue, right?
No, Prabhuji.
You can hear me clearly?
Yes, Prabhuji, very much.
Okay. Okay. Take it. So, yes. So it's that thirst only which made me a supporter of Brahmanas, put a snake around the sage's neck. Yakshut munigale sarpam nyadhapayat. Like that. So the sense of Tyaktodam is that samprati tu tyakta jalam api. Although now I have given up water, but still now that hunger does not trouble me. It is amazing that time how that hunger or thirst troubled me so much actually. Especially thirst, right? He was very, very thirsty. He just wanted water from Shamika Muni. He didn't want any food also, just one glass of water or something like that. So he says, but now that thirst does not trouble me. Right? So this also proves, right, in turn, in the 18th chapter of first canto, this analysis is there. Those of you have read, you know this, that this also shows that Parikshit was never bothered by the thirst. It was Lord's arrangement only that he felt so much disturbed by the thirst. In fact, Vamshidhara, one of the commentators, he says that the Parikshit's coming to Shamik Muni's ashram, it happened in the noon. It happened in the time of the noon. So take something like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. And Parikshit had left in the morning for the hunting excursion. So practically Parikshit is thirsty only till noon, right? It's a fasting till noon scenario, basically. It was not like Parikshit was on hunting excursion for 2 days and that's how he was like extremely thirsty. No. He says that day morning he went for hunting excursion and then in the noon he was there at Shamik Rishi's ashram, asking for water. So now for a powerful Kshatriya like Parikshit, that much fasting from water or food, is it a big deal? It's not big deal for even people like us, right? We can easily fast till 12 o'clock, 12 or 1 o'clock. It's not a big deal. Anybody, I mean, so many, our devotees also fast on Acharya's appearance, disappearance days, right? So why will that much thirst, trouble Kshatriya like Parikshit, who was like so powerful person? Why will it trouble him? So it will not. It was a completely transcendental scenario. That same Parikshit, after he went back to his palace and he came to know about the curse, right there he took the vow that I stop now drinking the water or taking any food. He just decided immediately, till my death now, I will just completely fast. So this is how. So that's why even in Bhagavatam, the word has come abhutapurvam sahasa. If you see in that section of Srimad Bhagavatam, 18th chapter, where Parikshit is coming to Shamika's ashram and getting angry, it is said, abhutapurvam. It was unprecedented that Parikshit became so much troubled by hunger and thirst. It is impossible like that. It was ordained, it was arranged by the Supreme Lord. So that is why. The reason thirst is not bothering him is pibantam, I am drinking. By the present tense, he lets him know. In the absence of drinking even for a moment, hunger which takes away one's discernment would manifest. In fact, if you stop speaking, that is a problem. Like that. If you stop speaking, then it's a problem. That will take my vivek away. Just as that point of time, it took my vivek, my discernment, my sense of discretion, it took away. So that's why please don't stop. Finally, Srila Shukadev is being compared to a lotus. So Vishwanath gives a very beautiful analysis of this aspect of lotus. He says, owing to the word Ambhoja, there is a superimposition of honey unto the Kathamrita. That is, the nectar-like discourse is honey. And just as the lotus has honey inside it, right? That's why the Bhranga, the bumblebee, uh, he is intoxicated or she is intoxicated. So the bumblebee, she is behind that, honey, that makaranda that is there, right? That nectar. So similarly, by speaking or making this metaphor of Shukadev's mouth being lotus, Krishna Katha is being said to be like Harikathamritam. Uh, so having thus indicated that the Kathamrit has an intoxicating power, so Amrita or that honey which is there, it has the power of intoxicating, right? Uh, Amrita also has the power of intoxicating, but that power is not intoxication like like tamoguni intoxications. Sometimes in the serials and all in the childhood we would watch those serials and then they are showing some Amrita and it is shown as if it's a alcoholic beverage or something, right? That's not how the Amrita is, but still Amrita has some madakatva, some intoxication. That is a sattvic madakatva. It's a sattvic intoxication. The Amrita, it increases your sattva guna, but it also has that pleasurable sensation on sattva guna. It increases your power, it increases your longevity, it increases your sharpness of mind. Those kind of effects are there by drinking Amrita. Now you can compare it easily with some worldly intoxicants, right? They do exactly opposite. Person loses all the sense. Person acts like a fool, and it will increase the mode of passion and such things. So this aspect of madhakatva is there. So what kind of intoxicating power is there in Krishna Katha? If you are comparing it to Amrita, honey. Honey also, right? If you take too much honey, then it's intoxicating. It's very intoxicating. So the madhakatva, the intoxicating power of Sri Krishna Katha is that the Kathamrit makes him forget all intolerable sorrow, such as the Brahmana's curse. So the point is, the Katha had such a power on him, on Parikshit, that intoxication of Hari Katha, he just forgets about that curse of Brahmana or anything, whatever that, so to say, so-called sorrow. Parikshit did not take it as sorrow, he just took it as a wonderful opportunity to go closer to Krishna. But the point is, whatever misery of life, right, Krishna Katha has that intoxicating effect. What is that? Yasyam Vaishroyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktir Utpadyate Pumsam Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. That is Bhakti Yoga. It will cause the going away, it will brush aside shoka, lamentation for the past, moha, illusion about the present, bhaya, fear of the future. Shoka, moha, bhayapaha. It takes away this thing, right? So that is intoxication of Krishna Katha. Person who is intoxicated does not understand any surroundings, right? He may be sitting in some place, but he may think that I am in USA or I am in some island or somewhere enjoying nicely. So similarly, Krishna Katha will make us forget this nature of this suffering of this world, the nature of the world in terms of shoka, moha, bhaya, and all that. That kind of intoxicating effect, right? So who does not want it? Everyone wants it. We all. In fact, Prabhupada says that Krishna Katha has the nature of forgetting, making you forget all misery, at least for the time that we are hearing Krishna Katha, at least for that much time, right? Once probably we are out of Krishna Katha, we may be reminded of our struggles and all like that. But then it's not that much. I mean, Prabhupada is saying certainly that effect, that much effect can be experienced by everyone. But the point is, Krishna Katha is going to give whole understanding of the material world, and what is the shelter and how Krishna is there for us to always care, right? Uh, that's Bhagavad Dharma. Uh, it will free one from all kinds of fear. Even the 11th canto. Today morning we were studying. Shruto, Anupatito, Dhyato, Anumodito. Bhagavad Dharma, if you hear or you recite its glory, you even approve it, you glorify it, you respect it, appreciate and accept it, that Bhagavad Dharma will fear one from everything, all the fear. Even those who have offended uh, great personalities or demigods, even such people, they will be delivered. They can be freed from all kinds of fear. So that is the Amritam. Amritam is being connected to that sense of intoxication. Amritam can also be connected to immortality. And obviously, Krishna Katha will bestow that immortality. It will bestow eternal residence in spiritual world. So that aspect is like quite common. That is understandable. But Vishwanath Chakravarti is speaking something additional, that Amritam has that sense of intoxication also. So that honey, that Amrita. So similarly, Kathamrita also makes us forget our surroundings, the surroundings of material miseries, material lamentation and hankerings and everything. There is another explanation. Due to the word Amrita, the moon is superimposed onto Shukadeva's lotus mouth. See, actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti is like so beautiful in his commentaries. He says, okay, Amritam, right? Harikatha Amritam. So Amrita comes from, I mean, Amrita, it can be compared that, okay, lotus has Amrita, lotus has that honey. But also moon produces, moon, the Chandrama, it produces the Amrita, right? So now you can compare Shukadev's mouth to the moon also. Just as moon releases the nectar, so Shukadev's mouth is compared to a moon, like that. You see, Ambhoj padena kathamritasya madhutvam aropitam. By speaking Ambhoja, what is shown is the intoxicating nature of that Harikatha. But similarly, Amrit padena mukhambhojasya chandratvam aropitam. But similarly, you can, so basically he's focusing on two words here. Ambhoja, if you take the meaning of lotus, then you can talk about the aspect of intoxication, like the honey in the lotus is so intoxicating. And you take another aspect of Amrita. So Amrita is released by Chandrama. Moon god releases Amrita. So similarly, then in that case, Shukdev's mouth can be compared to a moon. So what is the implied meaning then there? Since it is a lotus, his mouth is fragrant. Saurabhyam. So Shukdev's mouth is very, very fragrant. There is this fragrance of Krishna Katha over there. On account of being a moon, it is a delighter. Ahladatvam, ahladakatvam. See, these are the qualities. Saurabhyam, ahladakatvam, sarvashotrujana tamoharitvam, and chakoratvam. Very beautiful explanation, actually. So Shukdev, he is having that very, very special mercy of the Lord, by which, he is speaking such a nectarian Krishna Katha that draws everyone near to him, just like some very beautiful fragrance can draw everyone near to that fragrance, right? Everybody will say, oh, what is this fragrance? What is this fragrance? So similarly, Shukdev's Katha is fragrant. On account of being a moon, it is delighter, ahladakatvam. So, it is also very, very pleasurable. It is extremely pleasurable. It dispels the darkness of ignorance in all the listeners. Sarva Shrotru Jana Tamoharitvam. That Krishna Katha has that nature of also taking away all the darkness, just as the light of the moon takes away all the darkness away. Similarly, whatever all the shrotas are there, right? So their darkness, the ignorance of their heart is being taken away. And finally, if you compare Shukdev to be the moon, then who wants to drink the moonlight? The Chakora bird, right? So then Parikshit is Chakora bird. Chakoratvam. So Parikshita Chakoratvam is being done like that. So you can see here, Mukha. So Shukadev's mouth is said to be like that, very fragrant, because it is releasing Krishna Katha. It is Ahladakatvam because it is extremely pleasurable, delighting. It is that Krishna Katha is also taking away all the darkness that is in the heart of all the shrotas, all the listeners. And he himself, Parikshit is Chakora. Parikshit is compared to a Chakora bird. So that's how Parikshit is seeing him, that he is like a moon releasing such nectar of Krishna Katha. So Vishwanath Chakravarti, you can see, is giving a very Rasika kind of explanation of eagerness. How Chakora is eager, right, to drink that moonlight. Chakora bird. So similarly, we see Parikshit. So Parikshit's deep attachment at all times for Harikatha is indicated in this way, like that. So qualities like Saurabhya, Ahladakatva, and all that, they are being put on Shukadev, while Chakoratvam is being put for Parikshit, like that. So that's how the comparison is being made. So just on that Hari Kathamritam nectar, so much of aropitam, right? So that aropitam has been, this is how being spoken over here, like that. Superimposition, Vishwanath Chakravarti is speaking. Okay, all right. Purport. Prabhupada. To prepare to meet death in 7 days, Maharaj Parikshit gave up all food and drink. So, despite his fast, Maharaj Parikshit was not at all fatigued. Shukdev Goswami might have wanted him to stop narrating, but then Parikshit is not at all fatigued. The hunger and thirst from my fast do not disturb me. Once I felt thirsty, I went to the ashram of Shamik Muni. So you can see all these commentaries. Now you have the context of them, right? So you can realize, you can immediately understand in Prabhupada's purport, he's speaking on the basis of whom, like that. So he's speaking on the basis of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentary. Prabhupada connects it so beautifully. The entire world is suffering because of spiritual thirst. Every living being is Brahman or spirit soul and needs spiritual food to satisfy his hunger and thirst. So, this thirst is there in everyone's heart, actually, right? There may be people who have tons of food and gallons of water and other, beverages to drink, but the spiritual thirst is there. One may be very, very affluent by worldly standards, but one may be starving because of spiritual thirst, spiritual hunger and thirst, right? So, personalities like Prabhupada, even though Prabhupada saw, the poor people or starving people with compassion, but he looked at even the rich people with compassion, right? For him, he looked at them that, okay, both are suffering for the want of spiritual thirst. I mean, because of spiritual thirst, for the want of spiritual knowledge, Krishna Katha, like that. So Krishna consciousness movement is therefore a boon to philosophers, religionists, and people in general. So that's why in this world also, you know, although people may covet for other people's wealth or fame or like that, right? In this world, when people have faith, very great fame, not faith, fame, I mean to say fame or opulence, wealth. So it is very natural that people covet, intensely desire for these things, other people, uh, like that. But as a Vaishnava, we actually understand and see that, okay, even though these persons may have these things which are worldly resources and which is good, but then still there is this deep, immense spiritual thirst which will not allow them also to really be happy. Under illusion, they may be showing to the worldly people, but time and again that illusion is exposed, right? When we see that some very powerful people commit suicide or very wealthy people, they end their lives and all. So, so whole world may be running behind successful people who have achieved a lot of success in terms of worldly wealth and all that. But a Vaishnava, he sees that reality below the skin deep reality, below what is visible. He sees that what is the reality. And that's why Krishna eva, what is that? Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta. Uh, but Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Atayeva Shanta. So he is very peaceful within his heart. That because, yeah, the recognition is there that in spite of these things, we see that spiritual hunger or thirst will not let a person be happy. Some may realize it, some may never realize it because they are so much busy in trying to enjoy the resources that they have. So, so we live with this conviction in our life. We should not get so much influenced by worldly propaganda, where people just want to show that, okay, if you possess these things, then you will be happy. This is lacking in your life. That's the whole advertisement industry, right? You know, to show you what is missing in your life. Actually, it may not be your necessity, but show present as if it is a big loss. You don't have this. So you possess this and it never ends. So you go on just running behind material objects till the time you realize that life is finished. I am at the fag end of my life. Uh, that story of the man, right? How much land is Leo Tolstoy? He speaks about this. He has this story. He speaks about this man who was offered a benediction that you can walk, run as much as land you can cover by running or walking, but you have to come back to the starting point before sunset. So the man, he just kept on running and running because how much is enough? How much land is enough, right? So then finally he could not even reach back. Before he could reach to the starting point, he dropped dead. So that's the point, actually. Entire world is suffering because of spiritual thirst. The word Amrita is also an important reference to the moon, and the Ambuja means lotus. So Prabhupada is referring to this idea, actually. The pleasing moonshine and pleasing fragrance of the lotus combine to bring pleasure to everyone hearing Krishna Katha from the mouth of Shukadev Goswami. So you see this idea, Prabhupada is speaking, alluding to those ideas of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, like that. Yeah, but then materialistic people, they just want to discuss those same topics. Punah Punashcharvita Charvananam. So Prabhupada is showing some contrast also. So that's why there is need of pure Krishna Katha in this world. See, sometimes due to worldly influences, we might compromise our quality of Krishna Katha. It may happen. So we need to address, the preaching aspects whenever time, place, circumstances are needed, we should address. It is needed, right? Time, place, circumstances. But the standard of Krishna Katha should be kept intact, at least for the qualified people. You see, if we were to change the standard of our Krishna consciousness or our wisdom of Shastras only because of the people around, then as Kali Yuga progresses, you will not be able to speak any Shastra, you will not be able to speak any Krishna Katha. Huh? So, Prabhupada says in one of the letters where he talks about diacritic marks, he says we don't have to reduce our standard because of on the account of ignorant masses. So Deshkal Patra is certainly taken into account. That's a very quintessential aspect of preaching. So that is agreed. But in another forum, in the forum of serious devotees, the standard of pure Krishna Katha should be maintained. We should not think that, well, this Krishna Katha and this much of analysis, for whom it is there, who understands in this world? Uh, well, you understand, no? As a devotee of Krishna, why don't you want to understand? Others, newcomers may not understand, but the serious devotees, they want to so much absorb in, quality Krishna Katha, right? Uh, this way. So that's why we don't reduce our standard on the account of ignorant masses. We may share appropriate level of Krishna Katha depending on appropriate level of audience. But the effort of speaking pure Krishna Katha, the nectar of Krishna Katha, as much as is our capacity, should go on. It has to go on. We can't do away with that because that's our life and that's going to maintain us in Krishna Katha. Otherwise, sooner or later, uh, it probably would be just some basic dharma being spoken all around everywhere. Nobody's talking even about pure devotional service, or nobody's talking about pastimes of Sri Krishna analyzed to very fine sense and that joy of absorption, abhinivesh in details of Krishna Katha. So this has to be understood. So there are different roles in this world. Some will preach to the newcomers, some will preach to the, further, some will preach to the very experienced devotees, some will preach to the, most experienced devotees. It can vary. There are different roles. We can see that we keep ourselves engaged. That's the point. Wherever we want to engage ourselves in the fundamental aspects of preaching or in the sharing, deep sharing of Krishna Katha or like that. But we can decide our contribution and accordingly we can keep ourselves engaged. That's a very important point. So Prabhupada is saying this point. In relation to the Krishna consciousness movement, we actually see that those who have tasted the nectar of Krishna Katha lose all material desires. Whereas those who cannot understand Krishna or Krishna Katha regard the Krishna conscious life as brainwashing or mind control this way. So that effect of Krishna Katha, where we forget this material hankerings and all that, and not that we become oblivious to the material world. That's not my point at all. My point is of becoming oblivious to the material hankerings. So that kind of Krishna Katha, absorbing Krishna Katha, that standard has to be maintained. It has to be glorified, and the efforts can be taken to share that also. So that's the thing. So Prabhupada says very beautiful things here. And there is certainly a charming attraction in Krishna and Krishna Katha, right? That's what is Krishna. Sarvakarshaka. So Krishna Katha should be charming. If it is not charming, what is happening? Probably it's not a presentation is a big issue then, if it is not charming actually, like that. So, yeah, that's how. So, all right, we proceed. Suta uvacha. Evam nishamya bhrugunandana sadhuvadam Vayya Sakhi sa Bhagavan atha Vishnuratam प्रत्यर्च कृष्णचरितं कलिकल्मषघ्नं व्याहर्तुमारभत भागवत प्रधानः. Okay. Anang Manjari Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes, sure.
Yeah, just a minute. Let me
Yes.
go to the next slide.
Translation.
Yeah, translation.
Translation. Suta Goswami said, O son of Bhrigu, Shaunak Rishi, after Shukdev Goswami, the most respectable devotee, the son of Vyasadeva, heard the pious questions of Maharaj Parikshit, he thanked the king with great respect. Then he began to discourse on topics concerning Krishna, which are the remedy for all sufferings in this age of Kali.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now here, Parikshit has stopped speaking, and Vayasaki, Shukdev would be now answering his questions. So Sut Goswami speaks the Sangati verse, connecting verse. Suta says, Evam nishamya bhrugunandana sadhuvadam. So, what is the karta karma kriya here? Vayasakhihi Vyahartum Arabhata. Vayasaki, son of Vyasa, Vayasaki, Vyahartum Arabhata. He began to speak. What did he begin to speak? What did he begin to speak? Krishna Charitam. Vayasakihi Krishna Charitam Vyahartum Arabhata. That's all. That is Karta Karma Kriya here. Srila Shukdev Goswami began to speak the pastimes or the activities of Krishna, the character of Krishna. So before that, he thanked Srila Parikshit Maharaj. So that is spoken. Evam nishamya sadhuvadam. So Sut Goswami is saying, O Bhrugunandana, Shaunak Rishi is Bhrugunandana. He's great Rishi in Bhrugukula, right? So Bhrugunandana. Evam nishamya sadhuvadam. So in this way, hearing these very, very beautiful words, sadhuvadam nishamya. So sadhuvadam, hearing these beautiful words. So what are those words? These are the words of Parikshit. All that he has spoken in these verses, first to verse 13, right? He spoke such beautiful things, Nivrutta Tarsher and all further. So this is a sadhuvada. It's a very beautiful speech. So after hearing this, Vayasaki, who is said to be Bhagavan Vayasaki, what did he do? Vishnu Ratam Pratyarcha. He glorified Vishnu Rata. He glorified Sri Parikshit Maharaj. He congratulated him. Very beautiful, actually, what you have spoken. And then Vyahartum Arabhata, he began to speak. What did he begin to speak? Krishna Charitam. Kidrisham Krishna Charitam. How is that Krishna Charitam? Kali Kalmashagnam. That Charita of Krishna, activities of Krishna, which destroy the contamination of Kali Kalmashagnam. He began to speak that. And Vayasaki, Srila Shukdev has another qualifier, Bhagavat Pradhanaha. The best of the Bhagavatas, the chief of the Bhagavatas, Bhagavat Pradhan. Or there are multiple meanings to that word. One who has accepted Bhagavatam as the Pradhan scripture, as the best scripture. That is also Bhagavat Pradhan. So in this verse, Bhagavan, Bhagavat Pradhana, these words have come for Vayasaki. They have come for Shukadev. Bhagavan Shukadev and Bhagavat Pradhan Shukadev. While Sadhuvadam, that word has come for the speech of Vishnu Rath, the speech of Srila Parikshit Maharaj. Like that. Kali Kalmashagnam word can also be said to be a qualifier of Vishnu Rath. Vishnuratam Kalikalmashagnam. Why? Because Kalikalmashagnam means one who destroys the contamination of Kali. Because Parikshit had defeated Kali, so he can also be said to be the one who has destroyed the contamination of Kali, because he made sure that Kali was driven out of his kingdom. So thus he destroyed whatever that small contamination of Kali that had entered. So that's how Kali Digvijayi, right? He had conquered Kali. So Kali Kalmashagnam, it can also be a qualifier to describe Vishnu Rata, who is Srila Parikshit. Shri Sanatan Goswami. See, in this verse, I have primarily basically taken Sanatan Goswami's commentary only, because practically he covers all the aspects. So I did not select any other commentary to be pasted here, because he covers every idea in this verse. Atha means tat prashnanantaram eva. Immediately after the questions of Parikshit and those two verses where he said, please speak everything, immediately Shukdev Goswami began to speak. Vayasakihi. The significance is Veda Vyasanad Vyasaha Tasya Putraha. You know this word Vayasakihi, it comes from Vyasa. So Vyasa has Vyasa, right? Vyasa, Vya. So that V becomes Vai, Vayasaki in Sanskrit. It is a Tadhit word. व्यासस्य अपत्यम पुमान सह वैयासखी. व्यास जी के पुरुष अपत्य को या पुत्र को वैयासखी कहते हैं. ऐसे. So that's how. So the point is, why is he being called as son of Vyasa here? The sense is that because he is son of Vyasadev, who divided the Veda, who is the one who divided the Veda. So similarly, Sri Vaiyasaki Shukdev, he knows all the truth of the Vedas. Just as Vyasadev, he is an expert of the Vedas, right? That's why he's known as Vyasa. Veda Vyasanath Vyasa. जिन्होंने वेदों का विभाजन किया वो व्यास. So similarly, Vaiyasaki Shukdev also, he is the one who is knowing all the truth of the Vedas. The definition of Bhagavan, the word Bhagavan has been used for Shukadev. For what purpose? So definition of Bhagavan is mentioned in Vishnu Purana. So you remember we had this discussion in last session also. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha bhutanam agatim gatim vetti vidyam avidyam cha savacho Bhagavaniti. So one who knows about pravritti and nivritti, he knows about vidya and avidya, such person can be also called as Bhagavan. He who knows the living being's course of worldly activity, which is a path of return, and their path of renunciation, nivrutti, which is a genuine progress, which is said to be gati. Nivrutti is gati, it's a proper progress, while pravrutti is a path of coming back in this world. The materialistic enjoyment, that's what is pravrutti. And what is avidya? What is vidya? Such a person is called Bhagavan. He does not know it theoretically. I mean, he does not only he knows it theoretically, but he also knows it by understanding and realization. So this is also Vishnu Puran's verse. Or because devotee and the Lord should be respected equally, and they are non-different, right? Jiva Goswami has quoted verses such as Sadhavo Rudhayam Mahyam to show that non-difference between Krishna and his pure devotee. So from that angle also you can say Bhagavan, because devotee and Krishna are non-different from the angle of they know each other's intentions so well. Devotee knows Lord's intentions so well. Sadhavo Hridayam Mahyam Sadhunam Hridayam Tu Aham Madanyate Na Jananti Naham Tebhyo Managapi. Particular verse. So this way. Vishnu Ratam means Vishnuna Garbhe Pravishtena Bhagavata Ratam Brahmastratah Rakshitva Shri Yudhishthira Debhyah Dattam. See, what is the meaning of this word Vishnu Rata? So Rata means Datta, that one, who was given away. Rata means given away, Dattam. He was given away or bestowed. He was bestowed upon Yudhishthir by Lord Vishnu himself. विष्णुना रातम, विष्णु के द्वारा जो प्रदान किए गए, दैट इज विष्णु रात. और विष्णुना रक्षितम अपि विष्णु रातम, one who was protected by Vishnu is also Vishnu Rata. और विष्णुना स्वीकृतम अपि विष्णु रातम, one who was accepted by Vishnu himself. Lord accepted him as his own. That is also Vishnu Rata. So I have told three meanings. I mean, Acharyas have told three meanings of Vishnu Rata. You can see Vishnu, one who is protected by Vishnu, one who was bestowed upon Yudhishthir and the Pandavas by Lord Vishnu. Practically, Lord, he entered Uttara's Garbha and he saved Parikshit from that Brahmastra. And Shri Yudhishthira Dibhyaha Dattam, he gave Parikshit to Yudhishthir and others. So that's why Vishnu Rata. One was protected by, one was given by, or one who was accepted as his own by the Lord, right? So that is the meaning also. Ratam, Attam, Svikritam by Vishnu, Vishnuna Svikritam. Vishnu accepted him as his own. And that's why he acted in such a personal way, right? So Parikshit is known as Vishnu Rata, and Shukdev is known as Brahma Rata. Brahma Rata, Brahmana Rata. That is also same meaning. One who was protected by Brahma, one who was protected by Lord Vishnu, or rather Lord Krishna. Brahma there means Lord Krishna actually. Because Lord Krishna protected Shukadev. You might be knowing the story also. It's coming from Brahma Vaivarta Puran. Jiva Goswami quotes this story that Shukadev came out of his mother's womb only after Lord Krishna promised him that you will not fall in Maya. Only after that Shukadev came out of mother's womb. Otherwise, 12 years he was in mother's womb. He was not ready to come out. Vyasdev became worried because he thought, my wife is having so much trouble, right? 9 months also baby. It is such a difficult thing for a mother. What to speak of 12 years, the child is in the mother's womb. So then Vyasdev became very anxious and worried, and also he wanted that, this child must be really special, so he should come out. So finally, it's a long episode, but finally Lord Krishna came and he promised Shukdev, talking to the Shukdev in the womb, saying, I promise you, you will never be touched by Maya. That's when Shukdev came out. And in fact, he spoke such beautiful words to Krishna that Krishna gave him the name Shuka. Shukadeva's name is given by Lord Krishna himself, Namakaranam. Namakaran is done by Krishna himself, Shuka, like that. Why? Because he spoke like parrot. He spoke very beautiful like parrots. That's I think one of the verses is explaining that. Shuka uvacha. Vyasatwadiya tanaya tu Shukavat manodnyam brute. Vyasa, your son speaks like a parrot. Very beautiful, manodnyam, very sweet. So that's why let his name be Shuka. That's how Shukdev got the name. This way. So, yeah. So Pratyarcha, Shukdev Goswami, he congratulated the words of Srila Parikshit, and he in fact honored him in return by saying sadhu, sadhu. The words that were spoken by Parikshit were so beautiful words that they were congratulated by Parikshit, congratulated by Shukdev. Parikshit's words were congratulated by Shukdev. Or else Pratyarcha can means Vividha Shlaghaya Sammanya, honoring him with various praises. So he honored him with many praises. So two of those praises are going to come in the next verse. 15 and 16 is that only, Pratyarchanam, how he glorified Parikshit and Parikshit's questions. Kali Kalma Shaghnam, what does that mean? Even surmountable sinful reactions in Kali, they are also destroyed. Insurmountable sinful reactions. They are destroyed by Krishna Katha. Or else the meaning can also be that Krishna Katha terminates the fault of age of Kali, the cause of all sins. So how much more must the Krishna Charitas remove the faults of people in Kali Yuga? Kali kalmashagna, meaning Kali के भी कलमश को खत्म कर देंगे. The Krishna Katha is so powerful that it can destroy the kalmasha of even Kali himself. So what to speak of people influenced by Kali? Even Kali sits in Krishna Katha, his kalmasha will be destroyed. So what to speak of somebody who is influenced by Kali? Or another meaning of Kali kalmashagnam, Sanatana Goswami gives is the Krishna Katha ends the fault of unlimited quarrels. Kalaha. Krishna Katha, Gna means Hanti. It kills, it finishes off. What does it finish off? It finishes off Kalaha. A lot of quarrels. Quarrels such as the quarrels of what is Tattva, what is Phala, what is the absolute truth, what is the ultimate benefit, Phala, what is Sadhana. So all such talks of, confusions of Sadhana, Sadhya, Vichar, those confusions are taken away when one starts hearing Krishna Katha, Krishna's. So it's a beautiful glorification, right? Sometimes one may think that hearing Krishna Katha, am I going to learn philosophical aspects? Sanatana Goswami is saying, you hear Krishna Charita, all your questions such as what is Tattva, what is Phala, what is Sadhana, they will all such quarrels will end. So Krishna Katha is the ultimate manifestation of all Tattva, Rasa, everything. It's not like it is devoid of Tattva, isn't it? It will in fact end all the differences on that aspect of what is the ultimate benefit, Phala, what is the Tattva, what is the ultimate sadhana, and everything that. Or finally, Kali Kalmashagnam is an adjective of Vishnu Ratam. It can also apply to Parikshit. In that case, it means Kali Rupa Kalmasha Jainam. Parikshit who defeated the evil that was Kali. Kali ko hi jinhone पराभूत कर दिया. That Parikshit is also Kali Kalmashagnam. Finally, an objection is being raised. Here in the king's assembly, in front of sages who have various inclinations, why should the Lord's activities be revealed since they are highly confidential? Why should the pastimes of Krishna should be spoken? Because the sages there were from various backgrounds, no? Some of them were followers of Karma Kand path, some of them were followers of Jnana Kand path, some were kings, some were Vedic Karma Kand and yogis and jnanis and Mishra Bhaktas and all sorts of people. So, why should confidential Krishna Katha be spoken? That's the objection. So, that objection is answered by the word Bhagavat Pradhana. Well, what do you expect Shukdev to do? Shukdev is Bhagavat Pradhana, so he is going to speak Bhagavata. Shukdev will not speak anything else because he's Bhagavat Pradhana. Shri Bhagavataha eva, Shri Bhagavat Shastram eva va Pradhanam, Shreshtham Param Adaraniyam Yasya Saha. Shukdev is that person for whom Bhagavat Shastra is only the highest and it should be offered the greatest respect. So he is going to speak that only. He is not going to speak any other scripture now. Or Bhagavat Pradhan can mean for him the devotees are only the main people. So he is going to speak for the sake of the devotees. Because he is speaking there for Shukadev. He is speaking there for Parikshit. He has accepted Bhagavatas as his own dear, dear objects, right? Nityam Vishnu Jana Priyaha, right? Second canto also mentions that verse, that Sri Shukdev is described there as Vishnu Jana Priyaha, meaning for one Shukdev, for him Vishnu Janas, the devotees became most dear. And he also became most dear to Vaishnavas. Once Shukadev came and learnt Bhagavatam from Vyasadev, after that he just became Vishnu Janapriya. So, do you expect him to speak anything else? He is going to speak. Those questions are appropriately asked. And Shukdev is also Bhagavat Pradhana. So it's going to be, very nectarian description of Sri Krishna's Leela, like that. So this is the point of Bhagavat Pradhana. He has no regard for anyone else nor for anything else. Meaning he has highest regard for Bhagavatam and the Bhagavatas, the devotee Bhagavatas, like that. So he will speak these beautiful pastimes. Okay. Hare Krishna. So I will just take this purport and pause maybe in 2 minutes. So then we can pause for today. In this verse, the words Kali Kalma Shagnam indicate that activities of Lord Krishna are certainly the greatest panacea for all miseries. So various meanings of Kali Kalma Shagnam, we saw that, right? So Prabhupada refers to that. Srila Vyasadeva prepared Srimad Bhagavatam at request of Narad Muni in order to give relief to the suffering people of this age. That's the meaning of Kali Kalma Shagnam. This scripture will destroy the suffering of the people if they take it to its message and practice it. So that's why Krishna consciousness movement is seriously engaged in enlightening people through the pleasing topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's our duty that we present Srimad Bhagavatam in its authenticity, in its purity, like that. Srila Shukdev Goswami is described in this verse as Bhagavat Pradhanaha, whereas Maharaj Parikshit is described as Vishnu Ratam. Both words bear the same meaning. Maharaj Parikshit was a great devotee of Krishna, and Shukdev was also a great saintly person. Combined together to present Krishna Katha, they give great relief to suffering humanity. So Prabhupada is commenting on that, similar quality of speaker and hearer. Parikshit is also Vishnu Rata. Parikshit is Vishnu Rata, and Shukdev is Bhagavat Pradhan. Or in the next verse, this idea can be seen very clearly. Rajarshi Sattama and Muni Sattama. Shukdev was said to be Muni Sattama by Parikshit, right? Muni Sattama, meaning he is the best of the greatest of the Munis. So, similarly, Rajarshi Sattama. Parikshit is called as Rajarshi Sattama. So, there also Prabhupada points out this, that both have actually that similar caliber. It's like that. So, that's why that Krishna Katha is so nectarian. Because both are interested. It's not that one is disinterested and another one is only pushing. Right? That kind of Krishna Katha becomes very, instead of sweet and nectarian, it can turn into very dreaded affair, very dreadful, because either one of them is not, or both are not interested. Probably it's all just, it's a formality going on. So eager audience, faithful audience, and similarly eager and faithful speaker who are following the principles of bhakti and have genuine interest. That's a perfect recipe for a masterpiece of preparation of Krishna Katha. Like that. Anartho Vashamam Sakshat Bhakti Yoga Madhokshaje Lokasya Janato Vidvans Chakre Sattva Samham. So this Kali Kalma Shagnam, Krishna Charita, right? So entire Bhagavatam is only that Kali Kalma Shagnam. That's how Prabhupada explains. So that time Shukdev spoke Krishna's activities who are said to be Kali Kalma Shagnam. For us, those activities are there in Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam will take away all the suffering and contamination of age of Kali, like that. So all the preachers of Krishna consciousness who are sharing this knowledge, they are to be glorified. They are the most munificent people, right? Who are bringing people to the pure message of Krishna consciousness. All right. So, yeah, now in 2 verses, Shukadev will appreciate, glorify Parikshit, Pratyarcha, and then he begins to speak the episode of Krishna Janma. All right. Okay, thank you so much. I will pause here. In case any of you need to leave, please go ahead. These verses had some elaborate commentaries, so I spoke in little detail. In case you need to leave, please go ahead. Those who have questions may stay back. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So we will meet on Sunday again. Mahat Seva Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat. Prabhuji, in an 11th verse, this Deham Manusham Asritam. So, Manusham Asritya. So, this one, Prabhuji, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is having very wonderful point about Krishna's eternal form is already two-handed. So, he has referred something. I think that point was that portion was missed or something. So, I thought to bring Paramatma.
I think we spoke about it, Prabhu. Narakrati Parabrahma. I remember I talked about this is his natural form. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti says there. His body is naturally there, meaning he is naturally Narakrati Parabrahma. He uses such words that it is a naturally two-handed form. It is not like it's not like he manifests that only when he comes in the material world. So his original form is only two-handed form, like that.
Then I missed
So
it.
I did not put it in the slide, but in one of the discussions it came up.
Oh, you spoke. I think I missed that.
No problem.
One very small and again silly question. Tam mukham bhoj chutam. So from the grammar, Prabhuji, from the meaning of the word, we know that it is chutam and it is not achyutam. From the meaning, we come to know, or there is any other way to know whether it is chutam or achyutam, because achyutam will not come here because of the meaning. Of the meaning.
For Achyutam, no, Prabhu. If you see Twan Mukham Bhoja, right? So if it was connected with Achyutam, then it will become Twan Mukham Bhoja. Because Mukham Bhoja is ending with A, and then Achyutam is also A. So A plus A becomes A, right?
Okay.
So if it was Achyutam, it would have been Twan Mukham Bhoja Chutam, like that. So that's not how the usage is. So it is Chutam means, yeah, exuding, which is discharged, that Chutam. So Achyuta, that has the sense of infallible, one who never falls in his, sneha, affection of protecting his devotees, one who never fails in reclaiming his devotee. So that is Achyuta. Here, Chutam means, yeah, it is exuded, it is discharged from the mukha.
Plus is, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, who else? Vasudev Pran Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the wonderful katha today. Prabhuji, I have a very basic question, and I'm sorry if this already been addressed. Here we see some of the questions that Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring, like why did Krishna kill his uncle, or how many wives he married, and also even further, long before even like when he sat after being cursed, like what is the duty of a dying man? So Parikshit Maharaj, being such a great devotee, I mean, he already knows all these things. He obviously knows all the Krishna Katha, he knows the duty of a dying man, but still he's asking these questions. So how do we understand this?
Yeah, so, yeah, we discussed this, Prabhu. We discussed it before also, this idea. In the beginning also, we discussed this idea. So, the whole aspect of Krishna Katha is, Prabhu, that one wants to hear deeper and deeper aspects of that. So, as Shukdev or as Parikshit is asking this question here, so one perspective is okay that he is also asking it for others, but that's not how we should take it always. I mean, that idea is always there that he's asking questions for others. But then, Acharyas have always mentioned this, that how much ever you know about Krishna, is it a full stop? Is it that Krishna Katha has a full stop? Okay, now I know everything. So no, nothing of that sort, right? So even great devotees who know so many things, even they inquire again and again, because there are always deeper perspectives. There are always, different angles. And when you get a qualified person to speak like Shukadev, so although Parikshit knows these things, but then still he wanted to hear, because this is now the best person who can speak Bhagavatam. So he knows few things, obviously. He has heard Krishna Katha right from his childhood, that way. But still, Shukdev might be revealing so many aspects which Parikshit may be hearing for the first time. Or Parikshit may be understanding those emotional aspects for the first time. So that's the newness in Srila Shukdev Goswami's presentation, like that. So we may understand a certain level of understanding based on acharyas and all that, but we don't have to even feel that this is all is the understanding of this text. What Parikshit understood when hearing from Shukdev must be even much more than what we are trying to understand through acharya's commentaries. You understand? Because it also depends on one's own qualification, right? Uh, with the kind of background that Parikshit has, when Shukdev says something, he might be understanding it to the very great extent. Those emotions, those why Lord does this particular thing. So especially great devotees also, that's why keep on asking questions, because they see that Krishna Katha is like that. It has that nature of Nitya Nutanam, uh, Ramyam Navam Navam. It has Tadaiva Shashvat Manaso Mahotsavam. It's a constant festival for the mind, because it has that nature of Navyam Ruchiram. Newness is there. So that newness for us, if we have to experience, for us especially, we have to experience and try to understand that to the deeper perspectives that are presented by acharyas, right? There is some basic reading of a text we do, and then we say that, okay, I know now, I know this section. When you read it for the second time, when somebody who is learned teaching you, then you say, oh, okay, this is how it is. This time I understood it better. Somebody who is probably a Prabhupada or previous acharyas, they can give you deeper, even deeper perspective on that. And then you may say, yes, this is first time I'm understanding it is like this. So there is no end to like that kind of Krishna Gatha. So fundamental things are known to everyone, including Parikshit. In fact, Parikshit knows not only fundamental, he knows very deep things also. But still, Shukadev is like very exalted, no? Shukadev is the most blessed speaker of Bhagavatam. So now with him, Srila Parikshit is not going to leave that opportunity. And he had 7 days, he had taken a resolve that these 7 days he wants to absorb in Krishna Katha. So what do we expect him if he's not going to ask questions? So what does that resolve mean then? It will not mean anything, right? So the Krishna Katha begins with the inquiries. So if he has decided that he will absorb in Krishna Katha, so naturally he's going to make inquiries. So in that inquiries, yes, there is this sense also that he's asked certain questions for the sake of the other members in the assembly. But it's not like he asked everything for other members. No. His personal relish is time to time shown by acharyas. Makes sense to you? Understand?
Yeah, perfectly clear. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Anyone else wants to ask anything on today's discussion? All right, then let's stop here. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samastacharya Vrinda ki jai. So we continue our discussions on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. we will begin with the next part of this chapter. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada
Hare
ki
Krishna.
jai.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, so much. Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you very
All
much.
obeisances.
Hare Krishna.
All pranams.